Welcome to The Voice Behind the Key. I'm Alice here. I've been 8 years experience in this real estate field. Today we actually received some of the client that have the question regarding for the real estate. So let's take a look for the problem here. One of the biggest myth in the property is that high density automatically means bad investment. This is what my client feedback to me. But actually, we can give an example is it doesn't mean high density as a bad example. Let's say today you are having a project next to Sunway Pyramid. The project is about 1,000 units over here, and comparing to one of the project in Nilai, very low density, maybe it's about 100 to 150 units. So which one you think is actually a good investment? This is a comparison usually I make for my client here, saying about why the place have the high demand or the high density is because that place actually they have the demands over here, including the amenities, the university, even the shopping mall. So as an investment, of course, the more people they come around the area, meaning that is a good sign, right? This will be always I explain to my customer. Usually, I will tell my customer, you don't count the units, you count on the demand, how it goes for the location and the growing about the area. The second question what I receive is either flexi or fixed rate or semi-flexi, which loan is suitable for me. Most of the people, their first intention is they choose the loan is based on the lower installments. I think that's a mistake over here. When I say about fixed rate, it's more towards the predictable payment. Then for the flexi, is actually you can put a lot of the cash inside, saying that you want to do business or anything. So that one can be reduced the interest. So semi-flexi is somewhere in between. So usually for the young working adults, usually their benefits more on flexi if they have a savings. I would say that either fixed semi or the full rate, the best loan isn't the cheapest. It's one who can match you how you manage for the money. This one is actually we have a longer process, saying that which insurance you choose, also it will depends on your own insurance, because we're saying about the flexi rate everything, that one depends on how your savings can be managed. The next question is, what is the biggest mistake first time buyer they realize after buying? For me, it's usually not the price. What they actually buy, they actually based on the emotional, and also they're looking at the installment only, and they're ignoring for the maintenance fee and not considering the future lifestyle changes. Just now we mentioned about the investor. I have a case over here. My client, he used to buy one project with me. That one he's already booking. That one is located in somewhere around the PJ. By the time we have two projects to compare. One of the project when he go inside, he's so much, they like the showroom, everything. So he liked it so much. Then he decided to purchase for the first one. Then the second one, even though I already showed that the rental is already higher from them, but emotionally when he go inside the showroom, then she said she don't like. After a few years later, she just took the key, and what she tell me is, she said, "Ayo, I should have been choosing the second one because the rental seems like higher a bit. Although the facilities, everything looks like okay lah." If you mention about the biggest mistake for the first buyer is, back on the investment point, you have to be remember, today you're an investor, you're doing a business. So whether you're going for the showroom buying emotionally because everything is so nice, or you need to base on the data fact which is already showing to you. The next question is, if I compare 2 to 3 properties, what should I check so I don't compare wrongly? This is where most buyers they make a mistake. What we do is, you compare the price to price, the size versus to the same size. Not you're buying at 400k, then you compare to a size which is worth it. Remember, size to size and then price to price. What you do is you compare the price per square feet, and then the rental demand, the public transport itself, the developer, and also the future surprise. So you buy is because of the supply, not because of just seeing the brochure, everything. The next question is, if there is any difference if I buy a property in my age of 25 compared to 35. If you buy a property, let's say the property completion is about 4 years time. If you buy in the age of 23, probably you'll get the key around 27. By the time you already get the key, you go for the rental, everything cover, then immediately you can go for the second or maybe the third one. But at this time, you still have a lot of time to do the survey, since that you will still have many years until age of 35. This is a very good thing, because if you more than 35, for sure your loan tenor it will be shortened, because Malaysian law we are already until 70 only. So, conclusion, higher installment. I always tell my buyers saying that if you buy the property in age of 40, of course the installment will be higher. Will the installment increase higher compared to your salary? So you can think about that, which one is more. Then maybe some of the buyer, they until age of 40, 45 they haven't bought. This happens to one of my case here. So I have a buyer, she just got the first property on the age of 50. She used to be a banker. So I do ask why. Then she said, I'm afraid of commitment, afraid of installment, everything. So I think I'm not ready yet. From the time when I asked when she start to survey, then she said maybe 10 years ago. So times to time she see afraid and then pull back everything. Until today, she also tell me that actually I should buy earlier. My salary is of course it increased, but at least the installment will be lower. So I have another case is one of my friend in the age of 23, he already got 2 property. He still have a lot of time to go around and see for the property even until age of 35. I would say the main problem is actually a time. It's not about the price, everything, but for sure, buying a property always we need a lot of the consideration. You have to find someone who is reliable and who is experienced enough to let you know the surrounding, what is the future and what is the main thing, the risk you need to take about. So that is the most important thing. And for sure, I will still say property is still the very safe side to get as an investment. How can I shorten my loan tenure while keeping the installment affordable? When we go for the investment, we got a renter, right? For the renter, usually we have the passive income. Let's say today your installment is about 4,000 and your rental income is about 6,000. So you have the passive about 2,000, right? So most of the people, for the youngsters, they will be using the 2,000 as their passive income. But to be shorten the tenure, actually you can use the full rental, the 6,000 to put inside for the loan. So meaning that from 35 years, the tenure, you can actually lower down to maybe 20 or 25, depends on how much you put inside. So this one, even for saving the loan tenure, you can also save a lot of the interest, because usually when we buy for property, we said you're getting one price, you pay for another additional. So meaning that one price for one house, you're paying for like double. For 400, you actually even paying about 800k, including the interest, everything. This is a very good way for saving. For sure, people will say, ayo, I have the 2,000, or why can't I use it as passive income? I go and pay installment for my new car, maybe for my buying things, maybe for the furniture, or maybe anything lah. For the installment, they can use that. But if you think truly as an investment, by right, you should be shorten your loan tenure to a shorter year as soon as possible. And then for later on, let's say today your unit fully paid after 20 or 25 years, that kind of passive income will become one of the big source for your unit, and also you will save the interest. Why not we do it that way actually? This question sure got a lot of people ask. They said, why agent like to ask, you are taking this as an investment or own stay? Got difference meh? Usually, not we purposely want to ask this one because always being scold, right, or very annoying. So to be honest, actually not every project is suitable for everyone. That's why we need to know about your real intention, that you're really going for investment or maybe own stay, then investment or own stay. Because for investment, like I mentioned, we buy because of the data, everything we check for the surrounding, not because of the emotional. But of course, if you get for the own stay, you will have your own preference. So that one, it will mainly depends on the environment or maybe the amenities, where you like to go. Maybe you want to stay nearby your parents' house. So actually, they do make a difference for this one. So don't scold us already. I really want to know your intention, then we only introduce the right project for you. For investment, how do I choose a proper layout or a proper unit? Many investment they choose the layout is because they personally like it. Actually, that's a mistake. Let's say you think you put your shoes in the tenant side. Of course, tenant, they are also human. They would like to stay in a very comfortable space. So size actually is matter, and then we actually avoid and minimize the wasted spaces. And practical layout, they will rent faster. As an investor, I should choose higher level better or lower level. There is a no fixed saying over here. As an investor, I would say if you get for higher floor, of course your pricing will be higher, and lower there will be more budget. But however, I have a client, he actually choose for middle floor. What he's saying is, for the middle floor, you actually have a bigger market that in the future, you can get for those who are suitable for family, or for, let's say for selling, you can also get for people acceptable range is actually bigger. We are saying about the high dense, what is the pro and con? For me personally, I think that actually the high dense usually is like you have a lot of people coming around, crowded, maybe like the place is not that peaceful. We are back to the investment point. For the high density, actually in the same area compared to the low density, first of all, we mentioned about the price. So let's say maybe in KLCC, you're thinking that in the same place, either the high density for about 1,000 units compared to the low density about 100 units, which one the price will be higher? Of course, I'm not saying that you are not affordable. This one is mainly back to your budget over here. This is the first thing. If you have a budget, for sure, all of us we will go for the low density lah. Feeling is good ma. That's what they think for the difference. The second thing is saying about the price for the low density is already high. So what about the rental? Rental, usually let's compare both of the rental, you can be covered together, but the low desk, the starting price is already high. So what would be your ROI after deducted for the rental, everything, compared to the high desk? Back to the end of the day, you want to be invest one property. So you are purely investment, then you count on a database. If you want to be own stay or investment wise, we can go for the second option, see which one is better for you. Of course, the third thing always be back to the budget. Many agents, they will say, hey, future we're gonna have this lah, we're gonna have that, we're gonna have shopping mall, we're gonna have the public transport, everything. But based on matter of fact, what I always advise my customer is, currently you see what is happening right now and you compare with the current rental, then you will see what is your outcome. What about those township project? So township project usually we say is a very big one. If you buy for the first phase, you definitely get a cheaper price. If you get for the last phase, then of course it's the highest among all because you already see what is going on, the infrastructure, the landscape, everything. So what I advise is, township project, of course we need to see properly what is the plan and who is the developer, what they do in the past previous project. And then for the coming, I would suggest maybe you can go for the second or third phase in the middle. So at least you will see the future, they have a growing for the pricing and for the investment value. So guys, if you have any question to ask us, feel free to let us know and we'll be answering you in the next episode. See you!